This is Khan, and in this video we will learn about some of the remaining topics about GIS. Basically, I have completed the automatic GIS usage. As I told you that we just have to configure very little things, like we should consider only putting the file and just checking if this is the same file that we have in the options as well. And like we can see that this is the same file here. So then we are basically good. We can just, wherever we are working, we can just download the terrain data from here. It will be copied to the same file, and then we can just start building our links. Like I showed you building one link, and this has the terrain data with it. So now in this I will try to take you to the remaining part of this GIS so that we can move further. So some of the things in GIS is like, for example, it is right now using the tiled map backdrop. So the backdrop is basically made of uh, Google map tiles, but as we can change it in Google, we can change it here as well. Like we can change it from terrain to street map. If you see, these are tiles and every tile is coming, so now these are street maps, so you can get a full feel of Google Maps from here. So in the same way, you can change it to satellite map as well. It will show you a satellite imagery of the map. Next, we can have the map operation, like it will download automatically, because like if you see here, if I go anywhere else, it has started downloading the map. If we have any constraint, I can stop it. I mean, I can ask it not to download the image automatically. If I check out, now if I go out, it will not download the remaining tiles. It will stop here. Whatever is downloaded, but it will not download anything further. See, these tiles are not there, so it has not downloaded these. So also, because of any reason, if we want to delete the cached map tiles, because if we see that the map is older and some new maps have come, then we can delete the cached map. This is all about the backdrop, which is the Google Maps that we are talking about. Here we are not talking about the SRTM map, which is a different thing. So this is only for the network display. So for terrain data, we have these different options. One is the manual DEM setup, which is that you configure it from this GIS, that you configure any dam which you have, and here is the options. So even for the dam, you can select SRTM. Otherwise, you can use the SRTM which we already have, we already configured. Similarly, for clutter data also, you can either manually configure it, or you can use this NLCD and SRTM. For download terrain data, we talked yesterday. So this is the main option that was here from before. We did not talk very much about it in the first two lectures. So in this lecture, I will go in a bit further detail of it as well. Because in the first two lectures, I was just trying to prepare you so that you can, if you want to use the new features of Pathloss-6, that they are automatic and you can do things automatically, so you can do that. But in this last lecture about GIS, because I'm going to finish the GIS part and I will go in the next part after that. So let me go in the detail of all these options. So the first option, site coordinates. Here we have the projection category, like we have a geographic projection. Just to let you know that I will not go in a very deep kind of detail, because this is not a GIS course. So But to summarize it, I mean, the projection is how you project the coordinates on a XY plane. As you know that this our screen is basically a flat surface of X and Y, but the coordinates are elliptical. They are as per the Earth circular Earth circular system. I mean, it is based on how Earth is based. So when we change a coordinate system and put it on a XY coordinates, then basically we use any kind of projection system. So it's a geographic projection. I will not go in the detail of other projection like Google Earth and other ones. And so projection type is lat and long. So if we go in any other projection, the projection type may also change. Like here you can see that when I go to this map grid of Australia, the projection type becomes transverse Mercator, which is a different projection type. So we will keep our projection as geographic only because we will be working in it. The units should be degrees, like latitude, longitude we have in degrees and minutes and seconds. The ellipsoid which is being used is WGS 84. We can change we can use a datum or ellipsoid and we can change it. Again, as I said, I will not go into too much detail. Also, changing these will not have a significant result on the outcomes. I don't have any kind of way to show you that if we change it from this to this, then what will happen. This is for the users who have advanced knowledge of the GIS system and if they want to have any specific details somewhere. So you can see some parameters as well, that what is the major axis, what is the minor axis, and these kind of things, which are again, as I told you, these are not part of our main discussion. We are not here for discussing the detail of GIS. GIS itself is a big topic, and anyone who wants to learn it, he can learn it on his own. But here, from here, we can tell it that which latitude should be positive, which should be negative, and what should be the precision. So we want to be in a highly precise way. Then there are some advanced coordinate system. This is again if you are using the inbuilt solution of path loss. If you are not using anything from outside, then you don't need to change anything from here. This is as fine as possible. But for example, if you are bringing any legacy or any other kind of GIS data from somewhere else and you want to use it in path loss, then based on the data from where you are bringing it and from on and where you want to use it, you can choose any of these things. There's a bit of detail given here as well. For example, reference latitude, longitude coordinates to WGS. Say that if you are coming from a different kind of system and you want to convert it to GS84, then putting this option will make a two-step conversion for you. And it has given a kind of example as well that if you want to bring something from Swiss national system, then and bringing it to WGS84, so it will first transform to CH1903 and convert to Swiss grid XY value. So these things are for me also because I have never used any other data except the SRTM. So I am also not very well versed that how these steps are actually taken. But this is for sure that if you have a different type of data because of any reason, if you have some legacy data, then Pathloss can give you some ways to match it to the WGS84 system. So, for example, you can, if you have a different kind of source, then you can, for example, recalculate the latitude longitude from the XY projected coordinates or recalculate the XY projected coordinates from the latitude and longitude. So you can, for example, you can switch here as well that you want to convert from XY to latitude and longitude. You want to convert from latitude longitude to the XY coordinates. So also, if you have a different system designation like easting and northing, x is equal to north south, y is equal to east west, xy east west, so you can set it from here as well. So let's just leave it as it is, and let's go in the secondary, and like let's go in the primary DEM tab. So here, if you remember, we had set the DEM settings from here. It says to show the current DEM setting or stop using manage SRTM. So if you don't want to use the SRTM auto download features, you can just click here and you can go back, and it will go in and ask you to select everything again. If you see here, the file that we had selected is gone and everything is gone. Let me cancel it and let me open it again. Okay, so here you can see that file we are using the right file. Okay, so in the primary DEM we can provided the let me open the GIS file. I don't know why it did not get it by itself. So if you see here, there's a primary DEM and there's a secondary DEM. So why we have two types of DEM? So basically, Pathloss gave us a chance to use two type of DEMs. For example, if we have some paid version and some very highly precise kind of DEM, that it we have the files for the cities only. I'm just giving you a kind of example. So what we can do is that if we have some better data, then we can keep that data as the primary data, so that Pathloss will use that data whenever that data is available. And whenever that data is not available, then Pathloss will use the secondary data. So if we have two types of data, then we should always have the more reliable or more detailed data as the primary one and the other data as the secondary one. So here it is not different. I mean, the way to configure is same for primary and secondary. The only difference is that primary is the primary used one, secondary is if the data in primary is not available. In the same way, we have clutter data as well. Generally, Pathloss will be using NLCD with SRTM as a default. So generally we don't have to change anything here as well. But if you have any specific data, a different kind of data, then you can choose the clutter 1 and clutter 2 as well. So after that we have a backdrop imagery. Backdrop imagery is used if you want to have any uh, file as the backdrop, any images that you want to keep as a backdrop. So basically we don't have any specific backdrop, we are using Google as a backdrop, so we will not change this as well. Similarly, you can have vector data as well. Some examples of vector data is, for example, a 3D of a building. Like we have in Google also, we have the 3D projections of some buildings. So if we want to import that 3D projection in our map, so that whenever we go in the zoom, then we can see the building as a 3D, and this can even help us in making line of sight surveys, line of sight profiles as well. But currently I don't have any 3D data, so I will not be using it. But if I get any 3D data in the future, then I will make a video on it and I will show that video as well. So one more thing is that when you change anything here, you do anything specific, you can always save your GIS file. And once you save your GIS file, then you should also save your network file. Network file saving is very simple. You just go to file and save. It saves the network file automatically. So we should make it a kind of we should make it our that we should always try to save these files, so that we are never in any kind of problem because of any changes that we did. As I told you that if we change anything, we should try to save it. So I think that we have covered everything except one thing, which let me show it to you. This is the GIS help. Uh, so whatever I have told you is also part of this help. So whenever you are working and you need to find any detail of anything, like for example, here I was working that project did coordinate system designation. So you can read here that option specify the grid coordinates, labels and data entry formed and report. So easting and northing, however, XML designation can have opposite meanings on some projection. So for example, if you are using a projection which has opposite meaning of x and y, then you can have a opposite meaning of x and y. So x will be north, south, while here x will be east and west. So in the same way, if you feel that, because as I told you before as well, that generally for path loss we don't go in very too much detail of the GIS because it's a different subject altogether. But because of any reason, if you want to go in detail because of you have some legacy data that you want to import or something else, then you can always refer to the Pathloss help. This is very powerful help and it has a lot of things in it. So I hope that now we are fully fine with this GIS and we have discussed every part related to this GIS. So let's finish this one and let's go in the next video. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I hope whatever we have learned in this channel will be beneficial to you. So please like and subscribe to my channel so that the reach of the channel may increase and your friends, they can also review my channel and they can also learn from it. So let's meet in the next video. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.